Welcome to another episode of Business Talk here on Business Tech, South Africa's biggest business news website. And we're talking about insurance. And I think in today's world, insurance and safety go hand in hand, and particularly through the pandemic. After all, when you purchase insurance, you are in effect purchasing peace of mind that when something goes wrong, you're going to be able to recover your loss to what it was prior to the event, whether it's hitting a pothole and buckling your rims or having your office flooded due to a geyser burst. Now, we saw quite interestingly in Discovery's results recently that driving activity is still only 60% of pre-pandemic levels for Discovery Insure members. And I'm joined now by Anton Ossip, who's the CEO of Discovery Insure. Anton, welcome to the show. We're talking really about your unique safety offering across your commercial and business lines today. Just tell us about your core purpose as Discovery Insure and how this really ties in with that safety offering.
Thank you, Michael, and thanks for having me on the show. Maybe before I jump straight into it, maybe just a correction that the 60% was, in the sort of the peak of the pandemic in the third wave. It's now sort of returned to around about 90%. So we kind of getting to about 90% of driving activity, but we did see a sharp drop, obviously, as soon as the lockdown restrictions kicked in. So the core purpose of Discovery Insure is to create a nation of great drivers. We want to ensure that people become the best drivers that they possibly can be. And by doing that, we keep people safer on the roads. It ties in directly with the core purpose of the Discovery Group, which is to make people healthier and enhance and protect their lives. So this really sort of fits directly into that. And it's already a sort of a fully sort of thought through program of encouraging people to drive well. By doing so, have less accidents, keeping people safe. So if they are in an accident, reaching out to them, using the technology that we have available to ourselves to ensure that we know that they've had an accident and we can help them at the most crucial time when they've just encountered it. And there's a whole range of technology solutions and product features that we've launched over the last 10 years, all really sort of focused on the same thing of keeping people safer and driving better.
It's a great core purpose to have in a country like South Africa's, where we lose so much just from a lives and livelihood perspective due to bad driving and accidents out on the roads. It's the cost of the economy. It's obviously the huge human toll of lost lives or leaving someone debilitated or disabled after the event. What are you seeing through Vitality Drive? And just talk to me about the science that you're using to help ensure that we become better drivers overall.
Sure. So you're right. South Africa is one of the countries with the highest rates of road fatalities in the world. In fact, when we started our program in 2011, we were number 3 of the we're the third worst, at least in terms of driving behavior on the roads. About 14,000 people every year lose their lives on South African roads, and so many more people are significantly hurt, disabled, can no longer provide an income to their families, all through a road accident. And what we found is that most of the behaviors that ultimately, or most of the reasons that accidents are caused are through human behavior. Yeah. So while people would like to blame other drivers, poor roads and other things, the reality is that the majority of the reason is actually your driving behavior. So that is the reason for our business becoming, into existence in 2011. Where we thought that if we could find the right incentives, if we could use the right technology and develop a program that would encourage people to drive better. And when I say drive better, it doesn't mean drive perfectly. We're not expecting people to be perfect drivers. We're just expecting them to drive better than they were driving beforehand. And by doing that, and by constantly improving the way they drive and being more conscious about the way they drive, by giving them significant incentives for doing that, we believed that we could shift the way people ultimately drove. And we found that. We found that when people join our program, they improve their driving behavior by between about 15 and 17% over the first few days after driving with us on Discovery Insure. The program is called Vitality Drive. So it's the Vitality equivalent for driving, as Vitality is obviously well known in the space of wellness and going to gym and eating healthy foods. This is the Vitality Drive equivalent, and it really uses the same science that has powered Vitality over the last 30 years in terms of what we're trying to achieve. The results have been remarkable. We've seen incredible behavior change. As people start engaging in the program, they may feel that this is not for them, they can't improve, and then they engage in it, they get their first reward, and then we see an improvement thereafter, and then they get the second reward and we see an improvement thereafter, and it gets to a point where it then sort of levels off, where they become better drivers, and it maintains, at that level, which is great to see. It doesn't go back to the old ways. They become better drivers thereafter. So we've seen it come through in our numbers. We've seen it come through in our motor loss ratios, which is our claims ratio, our claims as a percentage of premiums. And then we use those savings to effectively pay for the rewards. So it becomes a perpetuating program where whatever we save as the insurer is then reinvested with the customer. So it does mean it's sustainable. People have said to me, your rewards are too good. It's not sustainable. You can't pay out as much as you can. Well, actually we can, because it's borne out in lower claims. So it's really sort of the win-win opportunity, or as we like to call it, shared value insurance.
Shared value, absolutely. That's why insurance has always, to my mind, been the ultimate industry to demonstrate the power of shared value, because you get the benefits not only to accruing to the insurer in lower claims, but that flows through then to the insured as well, and then to the broader society at large. To use the driving example, if you're reducing road fatalities, you're reducing the economic burden to the country as well. So the ultimate kind of shared value business model. What are some of the distinguishing features offered as a Discovery Insure client, though, more broadly?
Sure. So the rewards that we offer starts with basically earning points on a daily basis. So we give you points every single day. It works on a principle of loss aversion. So we give you points every single day, and if you drive well, you keep those points. If you drive badly, you lose those points. It's fully transparent, so you can see exactly where you lost those points. We then give you a weekly target in terms of number of points to achieve. If you achieve the weekly target, and some people achieve it in 4 days or 5 days, or some people take 7 days to achieve the target, it doesn't matter. You then effectively receive a play on the game board. So people are familiar with the Discovery game board now, where you can flip over a tile and earn Discovery miles. And if you do that for doing being good on Discovery Insure or Vitality Drive, the same thing on Vitality and Vitality Money, you effectively can get multiple spins on or flips of the game board, and accumulating quite a lot of Discovery miles. Discovery miles is a very powerful currency. It can be used for all sorts of things, from buying a cup of coffee to paying for an overseas trip. You can use it on the D-Day, which is on the 15th of the month, where you can effectively double up on the discount that you get at different providers. So it becomes a very valuable currency in itself. You then accumulate your points over the 4 weeks of the month, or maybe the 5 weeks of the month, depending on the month. And the number of points you get translates to a number of rands of fuel that you can purchase at a discount. So if I accumulate 1,000 points, let's say, for the month, I can then buy 1,000 rands worth of fuel at a 50% discount. So the discount level that we offer is up to 50%, and therefore I get a 500 rand receipt back early in the next month. I get money back in my bank account, which is effectively 50% times 1,000 points that are earned. The maximum points you can earn is 1,600 points for you as a driver. And if you have 2 drivers on your policy, or I've got 3 drivers on my policy because my young son is driving now, I can get 1,600 points times 3 times 50% back, which is pretty significant. If you add that up and you compare that to the insurance premium that I pay, I'm actually getting a lot of my insurance premium back. And that's important, to correlate your insurance premium with the benefits you get back. It means it's the cheapest possible insurance you can get if you're a good driver. You won't put insurance out there in the marketplace if you're a good driver and you effectively engage in the program.
And nice to hear that your son's on it as well. Just to comment there, my partner's son is just starting driving now, and it's best to get the good habits inculcated early on. And I think this is the right kind of program to do that. Just carry on.
Absolutely. I mean, I think also just to know that he's driving on the program, that he's got the technology in his car. If he had to be in a vehicle accident, the technology would tell our call center that he's been in an accident, and they would respond immediately. I think peace of mind as a parent, you can't put a price on that in my view. And then in terms of going back to the rewards, we also offer status-based rewards. So we offer, based on how many points you earn in the month, you get a status from blue all the way up to diamond. If you're a diamond driver, it unlocks, in fact, depending on the status you're on, it unlocks a whole lot of benefits. You can get discounts on tires. So the best drivers can effectively get 100% off on the cost of their tires purchased at Tiger Wheel and Tire. You can get effectively a freezing of your motor insurance premium, which means your motor insurance premium doesn't go up from year to year. It effectively becomes frozen in time. And as long as you're a diamond driver, your premium remains frozen. So it becomes a pretty valuable benefit to aim and get yourself to diamond, because financially it just really sort of stacks up in terms of value that you can get. And obviously our shared value model, we encouraging you to remain a better driver. We give discounts on car servicing at Bosch, and baby seats at two providers, Born Fabulous and Toys R Us. All again focusing on safety, because we want the kids of our drivers, or the grandkids of our drivers, to be driving in the most safe way, such that if they're in an accident, at least they're in a safe car seat, and they should be protected by that. So it's really a comprehensive program of benefits. Maybe the last one to mention is a discount on Uber, something that we put in place when Uber first came into South Africa. And I think it still remains probably the only insurance partnership that Uber has globally, because it's a global partnership we now have with Uber. And how it works is you get a discount on your Uber trips. And the thinking behind that is we want you to be off the roads, particularly when you're drinking and driving. So as these curfews start, being pushed back, and drinking and driving and going out and drinking becomes the norm again, we want our clients to be using an Uber to get home, rather than risking, being behind the wheel if you've had a few drinks. So all of it focused on the same thing.
Especially in a country with our poor public transport as it is, late in the evening as well. Just tell us about now the ambition for the business, which is growing at a phenomenal rate, as we saw in the recent results, to touch the lives of 1 million non-Discovery Insure clients by 2023. That seems to be a BHAG if ever I've heard one.
Sure. So ambition of creating value wider than just our client base. So Discovery has a long history of doing things from a societal benefit perspective. I think our vaccination drive is probably a case in point, where we've vaccinated now over 500,000 people, and many of them not Discovery customers. It's open to anyone, open to the public. And all the work we do on the healthcare side with primary health and throughout the Discovery Fund and the Discovery Foundation. So we have an ambition to influence more people. So we have a few different themes when it comes to helping people on the roads. We have an initiative in the Western Cape called Safe Travel to School, where we're helping school transporters who are not Discovery clients, they're not Discovery Insure customers at all, but we're helping them to drive better and encouraging them to drive better, because all they do is they drive kids to school every single day. They take kids to school in the morning and they drop kids home in the afternoon. They drive minibus taxis, and we've encouraged them and incentivized them to drive better. We've had an incredible track record, taking, I think it's close to 20,000 people to school and back every single day. And we haven't had one serious accident in the 6 years that the program's been running. We have our Pothole Patrol initiative, something we're very proud of.
I love this
with the
one.
JRA and with Dal Direct. You've probably seen it around, Michael.
I have,
you've seen it around your area.
But Anton, what I love about it is the power of cooperation. Even though you partnered here with another insurer in Dal Direct, but there's this great purpose and public good to it. So it shows you that brands can collaborate in almost like a pre-competitive manner.
No, exactly. This is, for us, it's not competitive. It's about how to fix as many potholes as possible in the shortest possible space of time, because that's good for everyone. And Dal Direct have an aligned interest when it comes to that. They've been a pleasure to work with and really a great partner. And it does, I think, encourage this sort of world of, if two can come together and do something so much greater, they should. And it shouldn't just be retained for competitive purposes. So that's been great, and we fixed thousands and thousands of potholes, let me say, right across Johannesburg. It's great to drive, and you can see it. It's marked, so we know which potholes are fixed by us, so we can check it on a regular basis and make sure that they retained their sort of efficiency. So it's great to drive and see the Discovery Insure and the Dal Direct logo on the pothole. And the more I drive, the more I see it. So it's really a pleasure to see that. And I guess the fact of the matter is that that's helping everyone, whether a Discovery Insure customer or Dal Direct customer, one of our competitors' customers, everyone's gaining from that. So that's part of chipping away of helping 1 million people that are non-Discovery Insure customers. We have another initiative which is focused on crime and crime prevention and trying to help reduce crime, where we partner and we provide data to CAP, a security organization throughout Johannesburg, that's very much focused at using a data-led approach to solving crime, and we just give them our data. They get access to our data in terms of using that to improve their crime intelligence. And they have a trauma unit that benefits Discovery Insure customers, where all Discovery Insure customers are debriefed after any event any time they're the subject of a criminal event. We debrief them and use that information to help hopefully solve the crime. So those are just kind of three. There are a few others that I could mention as well, but those are three significant ones, I think, that will ultimately help more than just Discovery Insure customers, but wider than that.
Yeah, and that CAP initiative, I think it started out in Glen Hazel, really has gained a fantastic momentum on the back of that initial conversation. I think it was with Chief Rabbi Goldstein way back when. That must be about 50 years ago now. Now, why is corporate social investment, CSI as they like to call it, why is this so important to Discovery as a business?
I think it's part of the DNA, to be honest. I think, as a business, we believe strongly that you start with a core purpose, and everything sort of comes down from a core purpose. And sometimes that core purpose means you do things that are outside of just focusing on shareholder value. That it builds the brand, it builds the country, and ultimately building the country and building the brand is good for the company and good for shareholders. So it does obviously have a spin-off effect. But it's really been in the DNA, and there's a number of things that we do in the organization that really tries to build the systems that we're involved in, whether the healthcare system or the motor insurance system, to make it better for everyone, better for the country. I must say the impact it has on our employees is phenomenal. Our employees love to get involved in initiatives like this, and know that they're working for a company that stands for not just shareholder value, but creating value for all stakeholders, including society.
That culture inside an organization that I think is going to be so critical to maintaining success as any business, because you want to be attracting the best and the brightest. And we know all the studies show that the newer generations entering the workforce want more than just to sit at a desk and take a paycheck home. They want a business where they can feel like they're making a difference and they're fulfilling some kind of purpose. Now you've turned how old on the 10th of June are you now? I forget. You're still a babe.
10 years. Yeah, we're still relatively new in the game. Yeah.
You're relatively new. You're still one of the newest players in South Africa. What's next for Discovery Insure? What will the next 10 years hold for you?
So our growth in South Africa is still actually remarkably strong. So we still think there's a huge amount of growth opportunities. Our top line income grew by 15% over the past financial year. So it grew really, really quickly. We're gaining new customers, about between 300 and 500 new customers every single day, joining Discovery Insure. So still a huge amount of growth opportunities locally. We branched out into commercial insurance about 2.5 years ago. We launched a commercial insurance offering, very much similar to our personal lines offering, focused on helping drivers become better drivers, helping businesses become better businesses. We've got some really, really nice products focusing on different market segments, such as restaurants. We've done a lot in the restaurant sector, in the medical professions, lawyers and accountants. We've got products bespoke and directed to them to try and give them more tools to make them into better businesses. We're new to the starting blocks in terms of commercial insurance. We've got some great products, and we're partnering with financial advisors to assist them in managing their customers' risks and helping them make their customers into better businesses. So we're very excited about the commercial insurance space and the growth opportunities for us ahead in that space. I hope that came clear. And then, and lastly, on the international front, we are expanding our products globally. So we are taking our Vitality Drive onto the global stage, where we're partnering with insurance companies in different countries. So we've partnered with an insurance company in the UK, and we launched a product called Vitality Car that's now in the market in the UK, a very competitive insurance market, but aiming to do the same thing, make British drivers into better drivers and reward them in the process. We've done the same thing in Saudi Arabia, partnering with the market leader there called Tawaniwa, a great partnership. We're very excited about what that holds for us. And we're talking to a number of insurers in the US and in other places to see how we can partner with them and make their businesses better and help the markets that they operate in.
Anton Ossip, on your 10th anniversary, a few months after your 10th birthday, I would like to say belated happy 10th birthday, and look forward to the next 10 years of building out this shared value model on the chassis that you've so successfully built already. So many positive influences through what is one of those businesses that, let's face it, you don't roll out of bed and say, right, I'm going to go out and buy insurance, but you've turned that around in such a meaningful way. It just shows you what can be done when you align purpose to a fantastic business model as well. So thanks for your time and for sharing your insights with us here on Business Talk. Take care.
Thank you, Michael.